Barbie versus Oppenheimer has been one of the biggest marketing moves in the past couple months. What's up, YouTube? This is Dom Jackson of Day by Day Media, helping your business grow your brand online day by day. And this is episode 15 of the 7-Day Scoop, where I'm documenting the process of me growing my media company, covering the current things happening for you to use in social media, and updating you on the processes and strategies I'm using for myself and my clients as I grow myself and their brands online. This interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in for more work. So in this episode, we're talking about Barbie versus Oppenheimer has been one of the biggest marketing moves in the past couple months. The Barbie campaign has been everywhere, pink this, pink that. And Oppenheimer has been marketing on its own. The best marketing for this movie has been coming from it being attached to Barbie movie, dropping the same day, which was on July 21st. So this movie really inspired a lot of the content I'm going to tell you right now, because you could have used this movie and what Oppenheimer has done to build your personal brand and build your brand online for your business. So one of the best things that you can be doing is riding on cultural trends to bring people back to your business without it even being something that's super relevant to your business. By adding your 2 cents to something that people are already talking about, it can give you top of the funnel brand awareness for you to bring people into your world and for them to see more things you're doing. So following that model, that's exactly what Oppenheimer did. The movie was already popular on its own. So being released the same day as the Barbie movie and having the whole Barbenheimer thing be a trend coming out, the movies are almost synonymous with each other. So you had to see one without seeing. You couldn't see one without seeing the other. So look at this example of this funnel you can use and grow your personal brand. This is the way I broke it down for y'all. Okay, make sure you subscribe. This is the content marketing funnel that I usually go through for some of my ideas and steps. I go through my people sometimes as well. And basically, what we do is go down to where your content goes in each spot in each lane, because everything you put out needs to have a strategic reason behind it and fall into one of these specific things, because just the amount of likes a post gets or the amount of clicks a post gets, or where it ends up being, may not be the best marker for success, because it depends on where that post is going and where it falls in your funnel. So the cultural brand awareness is the highest funnel. This is where a lot of entertainment falls into. This is how you get people into the door that may not know who you are. And it may not always convert the most people into paying customers, but it'll get you the most attention. This is where you're talking about things like the Barbie movie, where it came in handy, because it's a big cultural moment. A lot of people are talking about it. Ride the wave of that culture to get more exposure, and then funnel back into everywhere else. Next up is the popular industry topic. So these are the things you're going to be talking about for your own business. These are the things that people will usually look at you for, the top 5 questions you get for your industry. This is where that content will fall in this model. Next up are the general industry questions. So things are a little bit more specific. Someone might need a little more information for, they might search for. They're not the most mainstream things, but someone who's looking for you will look for you for this information. This is how they find it. Then there's super industry specific stuff that you would have really like having your consultation or have someone doing this. And this is all your content. So someone's looking through your content, they might watch a little more. YouTube video stuff would probably be more industry specific, because you couldn't really explain it in, one sentence or like a quick blurb. It would have to be something a little more in depth. And that's the industry specific stuff. And then your access specific process, how you brand it, how you call it, what you do it. This is like the deepest one. And this is right before someone gets a consultation, because it's like, oh, I learned so much from this person. What is your exact step? What is your exact process? How do I learn this from you? And how can you get me to that? This is your exact step. This is your exact process. How do I learn this from you? And what is your exact step-by-step way of getting me there? So here's an example I have using fitness, because like I said before, if you don't know already, I was a personal trainer for 7 years before I started doing this. And with that change of everything, I use fitness for a lot of my examples, just because it's still true to me, and it's usually pretty understandable by most people. So this is an example of the funnel using things already established in it. So we have the cultural brand awareness top of the funnel. So we have the Barbie movie versus Oppenheimer, and for this you could have been like, hey, here's the fitness routine Margot Robbie used for the movie, or popcorn, eat your popcorn, watch the movie. what movie you like better. You could have done anyway. You could have done anything possible you wanted to. You either spun it into the space you're in, or just talked about it generally and have your face show up and then just drop your hot take. Maybe if you saw the movie, like how you liked the movie for that. Just give a little bit of thing into it to add on to the hype, and then bring that attention down to the next step. Now, once somebody saw that video, they can go back to your page, your account, and look at, hey, you also have BAM, your top 5 tips for fat loss. You're looking at your top 5 tips for fat loss on your feed, TikTok, Instagram, shorts, whatever platform they're watching, a quick bit of information for them to get it, to them to digest. What way you also could bring them value because you brought them value with your Barbie or Oppenheimer or their versus take. Next up is the more general industry question. So you got top 5 tips, like a quick, faster one. Then you have more, it's a little more information. This is the fat loss workout. Okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I learn a little bit more from them. I'm getting more information from them than I had before. So that's like the next one. Then you bring into the next one after that. It's like fat loss for women, fat loss workout for women, taking down one more level. So this is like a little more niche. Like I said, they're going to it. It's weeding out some of the people once again, but you want to weed out the ones because it's a funnel, because you want everyone at the end to be an actual customer of it. So it's like step-by-step process. But it all started with them just finding you through the cultural brand awareness. Obviously, they find out your Fab 5 Fitness, and this is your Fab 5 Fitness fat loss workout for women. Boom, book consultation. Come get with me. Want to get this done. And this is an example of how some of your content can be themed. You can mix some other things into this as well, but this is a great way to think about the overall reach of people that are cold, where your content would be. I'd probably put I put a lot of the reels, shorts, and 1 minute type content in the first 2 categories, unless you have very fast information. But usually things you can give away pretty fast, pretty easily, are things you can put inside the first 2 sections. And then more things like a blog or vlog or a video like this, a podcast, you can go more in depth in those. So the latter 2 are more examples of that one. And then like the last one is just how you're spin on it, how exactly you say it. Because anybody who knows the last one knows you and knows how you do it. So you want the Fab 5 Fitness thing, or whatever thing you want to put on there, that's the best way to get it. Over the past 7 days, I also met someone who met at a coffee shop, and we had a whole conversation about personal branding and content and life stuff. So I went through an assessment with the person, and we talked about it, went over what my philosophy of personal brand was. And I was helping her out because she was just starting. And it gave me some more insights on what to be doing with personal brands as a whole. So I'm going to show you my new process on how I break down, the initial consultation story, so we can have you set up for ideally helping out the people the best way we can, for, basing your story on the best way we can frame it to help people out with their business. And it goes to show that sometimes, you can do stuff for free, or at least semi-free, that end up helping you out in the long run, because this helped change my idea of anything, because I didn't have the same, let's get a sale at the end of it mentality as I would with the other ones. So doing free things or spec things strategically can definitely help you out with just thinking about your process differently, which is something I'm going to keep doing. I know Gary does it a lot. So it's something I'm definitely going to be doing for the rest of my career. It was good to have this moment to just reiterate that. So here's my current setup for what I'm doing, so you can get a feel on how this looks. Okay. So here's my current, consultation client presentation. So first thing that we end up doing is that we go over your story, how you got started, why you do what you do, your breakthrough and you had your big change, the new you that became out of what that brought you, and then how you will save people, because it's all about the people, your audience, your customers, what they can do, what they want, how you can help them. And this is how we just frame it, because you're going to have to talk about your story over and over and over again, because people want to know, before people just decide to buy from you, they need to know why you're credible. And all your story is going to do is explain to them why you're credible, why you're worth listening to, why your process will help them out more than anybody else's. And that's one of the big things. Now, why I like personal brands over just being a brand as a whole, like just being a company brand, you have a lot of opportunities to use you as a person and a lot of different factors. So other things that we went over that I go through with people now is what things you value, because things you value, like you value your family, you value your status, you value your health, you value money, you value nice clothes, you even value certain music, you value certain sports teams. These are all things that are uniquely things you like that make you you. And as long as they're authentic, you can use them strategically to get more people to watch your content because other people like these things too. And, as long as in a business sense, as long as price and results are comparable, sometimes the determining factor can be how much you like a person for a lot of these things. And how much someone likes you online is definitely determine how much they value how much your values align or how much your interests align. So your values and your interests are definitely things you can use in your marketing as well because they're you and they're true. So the same way you walk into a sales room, person's got a picture of their family on the wall, or they have, a picture of their favorite sports team, or they talk about their favorite craft beer, whatever things interest them that they're trying to see if they interest you, what things you have in common. It builds more of that rapport. And because so many people probably never meet you face to face, it's a great way to add that extra dimension of knowledge of each other online. And I always say how to put a story with it too. So however you want to break the story down, I talked about my story when I worked for that sales company outside and how I was working with this young lady, and me and her had totally different people come to us and talk to us because even though we had the same pitch basically and had the same thing we were selling, we had different people just based on who we are as physically. And as people got to know us more too in that quick process of interaction, they understood it more too. So it's a big thing and it's important for you to know. The next set of the pillars you're going to talk about are more your business's pillars. So back to the fitness example, if we're talking about nutrition, fitness, and motivation, how you can break down those key principles and key pillars of your content to make content for everyone else to understand and use for their advantage. So with your personal brand, you want to make sure that you are using your key parts, and with your business key parts, and kind of using rotation. My method called the trail mix method is one thing I'm working out more on. And it's basically the ratio of how much content you should put out of actual valuable information that relates directly to the problem that you're solving in the industry versus how much is like personal stuff, or at least semi-personal things that make you unique that someone else can relate to, that you can bring your own people there. But like just like a bag of trail mix, people like nuts, they like almonds, they like cashews, raisins, dried fruit, seeds, whatever it is. That mix, what makes the trail mix great is that same mix that makes you great. That will help you out building more, get more attention online and stand out from the masses. And in our financially free D update, we are 4,270, which makes us 730 away from the goal. So we are making the moves to figure out how to get that next step in place, how to get things done. And we are rocking and rolling on that. And that is the financially free D update. Drop a comment below of what you're doing currently with your current personal brand. Drop a comment below what you're thinking about it, what your thoughts are. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. If you want to watch last week's video, you can watch it right here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy everything. Good luck with everything. Take care.